Hi, I'm Sean Price with Precision Mortgage, mortgage broker, Glendale, Arizona, and I'm here to share Sean's tip of the week. Did you know that it's Arizona law that no matter how someone is paid, even if it's a commission or tipped employee, that the employer is required to pay that employee minimum wage for every hour worked? I'm going to read the law to you. It's law number R20-51206. If you were to find this on Google, it's the first article that pulls up. It's 106 pages, and this is on page 102 on the bottom right. We'll see here on the screen behind me. It actually says, subject to the requirements of the Act in this article, no less than minimum wage shall be paid for all hours worked, regardless of the frequency of payment, and regardless of whether the wages is paid on an hourly, salaried, commission, piece rate, or any other basis. This is a game changer because the actual generic underwriting guideline does say that if someone is being paid tipped or commission income, that they have to have a 2-year solid history on purpose, because, right, I mean, you've got to be able to average what that commission or tip looks like, because it may have gone up, it may have gone down. Every state's different though. So for me, I recently just actually had a file transferred to me. It's very common that agents will transfer files to me that other loan officers can't get done, because I always look at the file for every piece of it to see what we can do to make it happen. This particular file had 2 issues. One, the former loan officer could not make the spouse's credit work because she had a 620 FICO score. Not a problem, I can work with a 580, I already knew I can make that work. In some scenarios, even a 500. In this scenario, the other issue is that the employer filled out a verification of employment and all of his income is in the commission bucket. And he'd only been on this income for about a year, so the loan officer said, can't make it work, he's gotta have 2 years history. That's the underwriting guideline. Well, I pulled the file, actually asked the office manager to go ahead and fill out the verification of employment and go ahead and put the fixed amount that this individual got on the 5th of every month as a draw and separate his commission. Well, when she checked their corporate office, she said she couldn't do that. I understood, but then I also found this law, forwarded it to her and said, hey, the only question I'm going to ask you is, in this scenario that, let's say this employee did not earn commission the month prior, which you would normally pay him in the current month, what would you pay him based on this law? And I kind of let that hang a little bit. So she said, you know what, I see what you're saying. So she checked with the corporate CPA, major corporation, by the way, and the CPA came back to her and said, you know what, he's right. We do actually have to pay him something, so go ahead and put there on that amount that he gets on the 5th of every month as a draw. I also got in her email an explanation of the reason why you're going to see on the pay stub commission is because that's the only bucket that we have to put payroll into, the way our payroll system works. Huge tip, because not only am I trying to prove for this individual that he gets this as a guaranteed income, I am also trying to paint a picture for underwriting, because they're going to wonder, well, wait a second, the verification of employment says this, but the pay stub says this. This bridges that gap, that email from the office manager. So not only have I saved the day for this file, which of course everyone's excited about, I've also saved the day for future employees or current employees of this major corporation, because now corporate knows that, you know, Arizona law is different, and although we knew that, we didn't quite realize we weren't quite doing it right. So huge game changer. I do this with all my files, so if you're one of those clients that maybe have been told that because you're commission or tip based only that you can't seem to get a loan, you know, unfortunately, if you haven't been getting it for 2 years, I can't use your commission at all, unfortunately, unless you've had a full 24-month history for me to average for you, but I can use your guarantee, and your employer is required, according to this law, to give you that some sort of guarantee, a minimum a minimum wage for every hour worked at minimum is how the actual law is written. So hope this helps you on your transaction. If you've got one going on, or maybe you've been thinking about it, feel free to give me a call. I'm always here to help out with any scenario. If you got any scenario at all that maybe it's not quite working out with the current lender, always feel free to run it by me. I would love to share my expertise. Always feel free to call, text, email, or even PM me here on Facebook, and I would love to help. Thanks so much. I hope this tip was helpful to you and that you look forward to next week's tip. Thanks, guys.